You lose most of matches not because of your technique or your footwork. You lose because of your nerves. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to eliminate pre-match nerves for good. And it's not what you think. It's not about telling yourself to relax. It's not about confidence or positive thinking or any of that stuff that sounds good and doesn't actually work when your heart is doing something strange 20 minutes before you walk on court. This is a specific 5-step method, physical steps, things you actually do in order, that chemically changes how your body feels before a match. And once you understand why each step works, you'll never show up to a match cold and anxious again. The players who look calm before big matches aren't naturally calmer than you. They just know something you don't yet. Let's start with the routine. 1. Start with your body, not your mind. This is the most important thing to understand about pre-match nerves, and it's the one that most people get completely backwards. When you feel nervous before a match, the instinct is to try to fix it mentally. You tell yourself to calm down. You remind yourself it's just a game. You try to think differently about what's about to happen, and none of it works. Because nerves don't start in your head. They start in your body. Your shoulders are tight. Your jaw is clenched. Your chest feels like something's sitting on it. Your hands are doing something slightly weird. The body is already in alarm mode before your brain has consciously decided to be nervous. And you cannot think your way out of a physical state. You have to move your way out of it. So the routine starts here. 5 minutes of slow, deliberate movement before anything else. Not a hard warm-up, not intense cardio. Slow. Walk around the court perimeter at a relaxed pace. Roll your shoulders forward and back. Swing your arms loosely. Do a few slow hip circles. Let your neck drop side to side. Nothing that looks like exercise. Just movement that's designed to shake out the physical tension that your nervous system has been storing since you woke up thinking about the match. Here's the physiological reason this works. When your muscles are tight, your brain interprets that tightness as a signal that there's a threat nearby. The tightness says, be ready, something dangerous is happening. When you move slowly and your muscles start to loosen, the signal reverses. A loose body sends the message that the environment is safe. Your brain updates its threat assessment based on what your body is doing. Move slowly and loosely for 5 minutes and you are literally telling your brain, on a physical level, that there is nothing to be afraid of. It listens. 2. Visualization with binaural beats. About 20 minutes before you walk on court, find somewhere quiet and do this. Headphones in, binaural beats on, search binaural beats alpha waves on YouTube and pick anything that's at least 20 minutes long. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and play through 3 or 4 tennis points in your mind. Not the whole match, not the result, just specific points. In detail, see yourself at the baseline, feel the grip in your hand. Watch yourself toss the ball and serve cleanly down the tee. See the return come back to your forehand. Feel your feet move to it. See yourself hit a deep cross-court ball and watch your opponent scramble. Feel what it feels like when you close out the point calmly. Then do the same with a tight moment. A 30-40 on your serve, your opponent at the net. See yourself staying composed, hitting a clean passing shot, winning the point without your heart exploding. The reason this works is not mystical. The brain genuinely cannot reliably distinguish between a vividly imagined physical experience and a real one. The neural pathways that fire when you visualize a clean serve are the same ones that fire when you actually hit one. You are not daydreaming, you are training, and doing it in the alpha wave state that binaural beats produce. That deeply relaxed but alert brain state makes the imagery sharper and the neural imprinting stronger. By the time the visualization ends and you open your eyes, your brain has already experienced winning points in this match. That is not a metaphor. Those experiences are stored and they matter when the real thing starts. And if you want to take your tennis to the next level, check out the Tennis Master Pack. A pack that includes the Elite Player Guide with technical and tactical tips. The Become a Pro Guide where you'll learn how to become a pro tennis player. A full week fitness routine to take your fitness to the next level, and a prevention routine to prevent injuries and enhance recovery. This pack already helped hundreds of tennis players. Get your clicking on the link in the description. Let's continue with the video. 3. Control your breathing for 3 minutes straight after the visualization. Before you go to the court, you do this. Set a timer for 3 minutes. Breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 2. Out through your mouth for 6 counts. And repeat that for the entire 3 minutes without stopping. That's it. 3 minutes. And what it does to your body in those 3 minutes is genuinely remarkable and completely measurable. Slow, deliberate breathing directly activates the vagus nerve, the main pathway of your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the system responsible for calming your body down. Your heart rate drops, your cortisol, the primary stress hormone, begins to decrease. The physical symptoms of anxiety, the tight chest, the shallow breathing, the elevated heart rate, all of them start to reverse. Not because you decided to be less nervous, because you physically changed the chemistry of what your body was doing. This is the fastest direct route between a nervous body and a calm one that exists. Faster than any mental technique. Faster than any pep talk. 3 minutes of proper breathing does more for pre-match nerves than 20 minutes of trying to convince yourself the match doesn't matter. And unlike everything else, it works every single time because it bypasses the brain entirely and talks directly to the nervous system. Build this into your pre-match routine this week. Same timing, same sequence every time. Within 5 matches, it will start to feel like the thing that signals your body that it's ready to compete rather than afraid of competing. 4. Set a process goal, not a result goal. Here's what most players are thinking about when they walk onto the court. Winning, or more specifically, not losing. They're thinking about the result. What happens if they lose, how it will feel, what the scoreline might look like. And that thought, carried onto the court, is a pressure that sits on every single shot from point 1. Your brain does not perform well under result pressure. It performs well when it has a clear, specific, achievable job. And win the match is not a clear, specific, achievable job. It's an outcome. Outcomes are decided by things you can't fully control. Your opponent's level, luck, conditions. They're not decisions. And trying to execute a tennis match while chasing an outcome you can't control produces exactly the tight, cautious, protection mode tennis that was covered earlier. Before every match, replace the result goal with one process goal. 1. Something small, physical, and entirely within your control. Stay low on your ground strokes today. Get your first serve in above 65%. Hit every return cross court and deep before you go for anything else. One thing. That's your job for the match. Not winning. That one thing. What this does is give your brain something to do instead of something to fear. A brain with a job is focused. A brain chasing a result is anxious. Walk onto the court with a process goal and your body feels the difference immediately in the first game. The tightness that comes from playing for a result just isn't there when your entire focus is on one simple, controllable thing. 5. Arrive early and own the space. A last one. And this one is often the difference between a player who walks onto the court feeling at home and a player who walks on feeling like they're already behind before the first ball is hit. The players who feel the most nervous before matches are almost always the ones who arrive late. They rush in, they barely warm up, the environment feels new and uncertain, their body is cold, and before they've even found their feet, the match is underway and everything feels slightly out of control. That feeling of things being out of control is 80% of what pre-match nerves actually are. Arriving early removes that feeling systematically. Get to the court 20 to 25 minutes before the match starts. Walk around it, bounce on the spot a little. Hit a few slow balls with no targets and no pressure. Let your feet feel the surface. Let your eyes adjust to the light. Let the environment become familiar before it becomes competitive. You are turning an unknown space into a known one before the match begins. There is something quiet and powerful about being the person on the court who got there first, who has already been there long enough to feel settled, who is already loose and breathing normally when the opponent arrives still getting their bag sorted. That comfort is real, it's physical, and it produces a version of you in the first game that is noticeably calmer and better than the one who showed up rushed and cold. 5 steps. Shake out the tension in your body first because a loose body tells your brain there's nothing to fear. Visualize 2 or 3 points under binaural beats so your brain arrives having already won something. 3 minutes of controlled breathing to change the chemistry of your nervous system directly. One process goal that gives your brain a job instead of a result to chase. And arrive early enough to own the space before the match owns you. None of these steps are complicated. All of them require consistency to work at their best. Build them into your pre-match routine and run the same sequence every single time. Before practice matches, before club matches, before anything competitive. The more times your body goes through this routine before tennis, the more powerfully it works. Because your nervous system learns that this sequence ends in competing well, and it stops being afraid of what comes after it. Drop a comment telling me which step you're going to add to your routine first. I want to know which one hits the most for people. Subscribe for more of this. Real stuff that actually works on court. This is what we do in Blue Tennis Dude. See you in the next one.